Royal Caribbean Cruises doesn't just sail, it scales. I'm here today to tell you why Royal Caribbean Cruises represents a strategic opportunity for long-term growth and profitability in the global travel and experiences market. So a preview of what I'm here to talk to you about today. First, we're going to look at its recent impressive financial performance, specifically looking at revenue growth and honing in on its growth from pre-pandemic to today, and then looking at the same kind of trend for its net income, which is very important because that calculates the profitability it has left over after its expenses. Then we're going to head into its strong brand equity and see that it's really driven by its guest loyalty as well as its Broadway shows as a very strong differentiator. Lastly, we're going to look into their strong long-term positioning by specifically looking into their return on invested capital, which measures the efficiency of how they use their invested capital. And then we also will look at their strong operating margins, which accounts for their efficiency in using operating assets. So their revenue nearly doubled since 2022. It was 8.8 billion and then 13.9 billion in 2023 and 16.5 billion in 24. I want to highlight this is very strong from the pandemic because 2019 is where the industry was at before the cruise industry shut down in 2020. So they were doing well in 2019, but this is such a big turnaround from how they were before the pandemic. A lot of this is driven by they have record bookings right now, and also they're able to offer premium ticket pricing. I want to highlight that their average occupancy across all of their ships is over 100%, meaning full occupancy is 2 people in each cabin, but over 100% would be a family goes into a cabin that's supposed to be 2 people, and there's 3, and so their average occupancy is over 100%. They also are leading the industry in net income. So 2 of their main competitors are Carnival Cruises and Norwegian Cruise Lines. And as you can see, they're very clearly leading in 2024 with 2.8 billion in net income compared to 1.9 and 0.9 billion with Norwegian Cruise Lines. Like I said, this is very relevant because it accounts for not just their revenue, but also how well they're doing after all of their expenses. And comparing back to 2019, again, they were doing well at 1.8, but this is nearly doubled, pretty much doubled since 2019. What's really driving this is their differentiated experience. So their loyalty is very high. 40% of their bookings over their whole fleet come from return customers that are part of their Crown and Anchor Society loyalty program, which offers benefits like priority onboarding and exclusive events on the cruise ship. And also the staff is trained to recognize these repeat customers and offer them personalized service, remembering them by name. And then they have very distinctive entertainment. They have aqua shows, they have ice skating shows, immersive experiences, as well as live music. And then one of their biggest distinct things in the entertainment space is their Broadway shows. So they have licensing rights to 8 Broadway shows right now, compared to Norwegian, which has 4, but Norwegian is trending down. They're getting rid of their Broadway shows. Royal Caribbean is continuing to invest. And so this is a very strong differentiator because it justifies this premium positioning for a lot of consumers who, there's a lot of cruisers who will pick a specific ship or company solely because of the entertainment offering. And so having this exclusive right to these licensed Broadway shows as this goes down and this goes up will only drive this growth. They also lead the industry in return on invested capital in 2024 at 16% compared to 11% with Norwegian Cruise Lines and 11% with Carnival Cruises. I want to highlight that a lot of this is driven by their Icon class ships, which is their new class of ship. They have 2 of them operating now, and they have 2 more on order through 2027, which will lead to 4 ships and out of their then 31 ship fleet. So that's a significant percentage. And just looking back historically, their return on invested capital in 2019 was 10%. So as you can see, they're well above that and recovering from the pandemic very quickly. So they also have operating efficiencies that drive their margin growth. So their operating margin is at 25% compared to 15 and 14 with Norwegian and Carnival. So they're well outpacing the industry. And this is driven by their Icon class ships that have this new fuel efficiency. So on the cost end, they're able to cut fuel costs by 20% with liquid natural gas. And then also their guest spending is up 30% on average compared to 2019. So to summarize, this company has very strong financial strength. Their revenue is up roughly 50% from 2019. Net income is up over 50% from 2019. Their brand equity is very strong, with 40% of their bookings coming from their loyalty members. And within that group, they spend 25% more per cruise than non-loyalty members. And their long-term positioning is strong. They're investing in sustainability with this liquid natural gas powered efficiency in their fuel system, and their Icon class ships, which will by 2027 be 4 of their 31 ships, account for much higher margins. So to summarize, invest today.
Nice.
What was I at?
You were at,
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
6:30.
It feels.
yeah, I had about the same. I think you could slow it down like just a little bit. You have 20 seconds of buffer there, and she lets you go like what, 30 seconds over?
Yeah.
Because I did notice a lot of filler words, and that kind of tends to come from rushing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm saying one right now, but
Yeah. I'm under rehearsed for sure. Yeah, I agree. I'll just kind of like tighten it up. I don't think there's too much content. I just think I need to tighten up like what I'm saying about it.
yeah, I think another thing is I don't know, like you can maybe go a bit more into like how they differentiate themselves. Because I don't know a ton about cruises, but I know like they kind of have different sort of like I guess like class levels, right? Or like
Yes.
like Carnival's kind of like
Yeah.
the lower one, and then I think Royal
Premium. Yeah.
Royal Caribbean's for like families, right?
Yeah, it's like premium families. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like luxury, but it's premium families. So I guess I could like state that, especially
Yeah,
towards
but
the beginning.
you're kind of like up on time, so if you can fit it in, I think it would help a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my main thing.
That actually gave me an idea. I think we touched upon a lot of graphs that had like 3 companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I think I can clearly see that this one is different from this one, but in terms of numbers, but I also like don't understand how different they are in terms of like what they provide.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it could even be like one of those graphs that has like an axis. So you can do like family friendly or like exclusive. I think that would be like a good graphic.
Like how they differentiate
Yeah.
as a company compared to those others.
Yeah, I think having like a market overview would be great because
Sure.
a lot of the presentation looks the same.
Yeah.
So maybe just like different graphs could help you section more.
Yeah.
So I do have to talk about the presentation because a lot of it does look the same. But if you see, like, they're not consistent. Like your logo from like top right jumps around.
Yeah.
Even like the sizing of those graphs jumps around. So I feel like it is missing a bit of cohesion. So it just feels like we're looking at the same slide.
Yeah.
You know.
Over and over. Yeah.
But information is great. I think another thing is you might be able to combine 2 graphs into one. So maybe something like those Broadway shows and customer loyalty. You could have like one as a bar and one as a line on top of the bar, just to like show Broadway, like having these titles is improving, like is tied to like the increased loyalty, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, this is good feedback. Yeah.
I would say to add on to Novelli's point, you could also like with like the sort of axis she was talking about for the differentiation, you can even tie that back into like the long-term sustainability, where like this Royal Caribbean's targeting this market and it's expected to grow because of like the way the economy is going. Like middle class families are being priced out, where like upper class families are the only ones who get sort of afford vacations.
Yeah,
that's
no,
just something to consider.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Thank you guys.
The only thing that I felt about the thing is everybody will not know about cruises.
Yeah,
So if you give a little bit more
context.
context about what exactly why you want to differentiate between not only in terms of finances, because when you're pitching a stock to somebody else, right, it's not only about finances. What the company is doing, like how she told about
The
why
industry.
Nintendo is into, like, if you'll choose Xbox for something and Nintendo for something else, something like that,
Yeah.
nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome.